Hello YouTube! Flashlight enthusiast here. Today the Wurkkos TS30, which is the outdoor / searchlight flashlight equipped with 3 LEDs. This one was provided by Wurkkos for review. Thank you so much for that. Looking at the box here, standard Wurkkos box with white front with logo, orange sides. I really appreciate the neutral white version option and that actually I got this one, particular one for review. Okay, let's open up the box and show you what we've got inside. This is actually the one with the super cool striking bezel. I always wanted to test this one out. Oh my gosh. And here's the thanks for choosing Wurkkos labeling. So very nice accent here for the customer. Okay, so first things first, we've got the flashlight here. Installed the standard bezel and make sure that you screw the tail cap just to the end so that the flashlight is fully operational. 2700 to 18650 battery converter, USB to USB-C charging cable, standard lanyard with double O-ring replacement, stainless steel strike bezel. This one is pretty massive. Wow, pretty nice. Alright, coming back to the flashlight itself, the design I would call pretty much iconic and classical. We've got slim 121-700 body, nice knurling, although a little bit slippery right now, but in the terrain I couldn't notice any problems with the grip whatsoever. We've got arch head with 3 reflectors, single switch, and on the opposite side USB-C charging port, a little bit of cooling fins here, although they are not that much needed because this flashlight is does not reach the full potential of those LEDs, and maybe that's good. On the other hand, we've got tail cap with 2 lanyard attachment. Notice that with this kind of design, when you attach the lanyard, it might protrude a little bit from this hole so that the tail standing feature would be disturbed. Alright, so coming back to the reflector, here we've got triple deep smooth reflector design. Notice that every LED has its own reflector, which means that you avoid the flower pattern on the sides. Pretty brilliant, don't you think? Inside we've got 3 SST40 emitters in neutral white, which is always a nice option for me. And I'm really glad they sent me this particular version for review. Alright, I don't see any dust here in the reflectors, so I really appreciate that. We've got lightly crenulated bezel, so when you put it on the head and light it up, you can definitely see that the flashlight is running. And optionally, as you've seen in the set, we also got this big teeth bezel for, I don't know, self-defense, tactical operations. I'm not sure what's the purpose of it, but it looks pretty scary. Alright, so inside we can definitely find a battery, but before that, look at the threads, well lubricated, even I would call it a little bit excessively lubricated, but this ensures very smooth operation. O-ring is in place, and here we've got short but quite thick spring, very nice indeed. Alright, and the included is the Wurkkos branded 21700 battery, 5000 mAh, so 18 watt hours, the highest capacity on the market right now. But be aware that this kind of battery is not the high drain battery, so it might be not reaching the full potential on this battery, but I measured it with 40T, so much higher discharge rate, and it only showed like 150 lumens more, so don't worry much about it. And I really appreciate the higher capacity because the runtime is always increased with this one. Okay, down there we've got single brass contact, so no spring down there, and yeah, you can also unscrew this one from the head side without any problems. Here the threads are also well lubricated. I'm not sure if the tube is bidirectional. No, not really. The diameter is a little bit different, but here you can see the driver. Looks good to me. Nothing special, but looks clean, and I like that way. Okay, so let's screw this down. Okay, let's screw this down also. There are basically 2 groups, the stepped one and the ramping one, but let's focus first on the step mount. So this is the default mode. So from off you can also press the switch to enter the eco mode and then press again to toggle low, medium, high, turbo, low, medium, high, turbo, etc. So yeah, as I told you, there are no flower patterns on this one because of 3 individual reflectors. Very nice, I like it that way. Pretty sly, I would say. And also double tap will activate turbo at any given moment, either from on or off, doesn't matter. Okay. And if you like to access strobe mode, just triple click and there you go. Okay, there's also an electronic lockout mode, quadruple click from off, 2 blinks from the flashlight, and when you press the switch, double blink will appear to indicate that the flashlight is locked out. 4 clicks again to turn the flashlight on. And if you like to access the ramping mode from the step mode, you have to press from off, press and hold the switch from off for about 3 seconds, so slightly longer than from moonlight mode. And we've got 2 flashes that confirm the mode group change, and now hold the switch to increase and then decrease the brightness. Alright, as you notice, we also got the battery indicators, so here it is. Once you turn on the flashlight, it appears under the switch for about 5 seconds and then it disappears. And what it means is actually green is more than 30%, red is less than 30%, and flashing red is critical power, replace or recharge battery as soon as possible. When the battery voltage is lower than 2.7 volts, the flashlight will automatically turn off, so to preserve the battery life and not to damage the cell, which is actually unprotected one. Okay. So there's also USB-C charging, as you could see there. So the seal is quite good, and I wouldn't suspect any water intrusion in there, unless of course you forget to seal it after the charging. So once you're ready to charge, just plug in the USB-C charging source, and then the charging is in progress. So flashing red means charging in progress, and green means charging is finished. Okay, there is no discharge protocol on this one, so you cannot use this particular model as a power bank, as other Wurkkos, for example, but I think it's still okay. The charging is quite fast, as you can see right now on the screen. Good charging is always a necessity in those kind of flashlights, unless obviously you own a separate quality charger that you can throw up your batteries and don't care about the USB-C charging, but I think for most users it is definitely convenient. Okay, so here are my Lumen measurements of the Wurkkos TS30. If you need any more time, feel free to pause the video. Okay, so let's jump to the runtime graphs real quick, shall we? This is the Wurkkos TS30 5000K Lumen version, turbo output with the included 5000 mAh battery. So here I measured around 3770 lumens at startup, so quite far from the declared almost 6000 lumens, but again it was measured at the higher discharge rate battery. So yeah, the performance is expected to be a little bit different. So as you can see, we've got advanced terminal regulation kicking in after 45 minutes again, and unfortunately this fluctuations up and down the roller coaster started, so I really dislike this one, but the first 45 minutes look actually pretty good. And as you can see, the step down occurs after 1 minute and 47 seconds, but the step down is actually quite linear and slow. So from 3,281 lumens, we've got a gradual step down over the course of 90 seconds, so 1.5 minutes, to around 471 lumen level, which is still quite good output for that particular matter. Around 500 lumens is still nice output. And these fluctuations that happens after 45 minutes are actually not visible to the human eye, but you might spot it in the terrain when looking at a far away object, and when the 400 lumens cannot illuminate it and the 750 lumen can, then you might spot that there are some brightness decreases over the time happening. All right, and here is the high mode. Here also some fluctuations happened after 1 hour and 15 minutes approximately. I measured 1820 lumens at startup. The step down occurs after 4 minutes and 4 seconds, so pretty nice result here. I really like this one. From over 2275 lumens over the course of 60 seconds to around 843 lumen level, and then obviously perfect linear brightness decrease up until the 1 hour and 70 minutes mark, when the thermal regulation kicked in somehow. The driver should have achieved 60 degrees as it's stated in the manual, and then the fluctuations started to happen. Obviously I would like to avoid them, but it is as it is, and probably most users won't even notice, so it is as it is. All right, and here's the medium mode. Here the regulation does not kick in at all. We've got 453 lumens at startup, and then linear brightness decrease over the course of around 5 hours, and the body did achieve around 30 degrees. Overall, very nice performance, except those fluctuations, which unfortunately are standard for Wurkkos. So, well, let's face it, we won't avoid them, do we? Here I am with the Wurkkos TS30. This is the lowest output. This is low, medium, high, and now double tap for turbo mode. Wow, this is quite nice beam pattern with this focused spot and quite good amount of side light, easily reaching the trees down there, over 300 meters to the tree line without any problems. As you can see, we can spot some rings in the beam pattern. No flower pattern yet, but rings are a little bit visible. Well, it is as it is. Okay. Once again, lowest output, low, medium, high, and turbo output. Quite good, quite good. Alright guys, let's sum it up. The Wurkkos TS30 positively surprised me. Not in a performance kind of way, but you know, it is pretty compact, and for its size it offers much functionality and light output. And what surprised me a lot was the throw that those 3 deep smooth reflectors and SST40s, triple of them, can actually offer. It is very useful and kind of pretty flashlight, and I really enjoyed reviewing this one. I think there is not much to complain about it when it comes to Wurkkos TS30. In my opinion, some users might be discouraged by the thermal regulation that has this saw chart, as you saw in the runtime graph section, but most users will probably not notice, as I didn't also with my naked eye. So the built-in charging is also useful, the battery indicator is nice, and overall user interface is quite logical and straightforward, easy to understand. You've got battery included, you've got nice tint from the SST40 LEDs, which are neutral white here on my sample, but appear like more neutral and coolish white, more like 5700K. So overall very nice tint, and design is also quite classical, so I believe many of you will appreciate the Wurkkos TS30 as your night adventures companion. So guys, overall I can definitely recommend the Wurkkos TS30 for you if you're looking for a compact overall beam searchlight / adventure light, which has built-in charging, high capacity battery, and overall pretty straightforward user interface. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and hit the subscribe button for more videos to come and support the algorithm. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.